around. Never mind, there's 2 people running around. Akil, prepare to get fucked.
Never mind.
Sit down, bruv. Relax.
What?
No, I killed both of them.
I was gonna say what happened to Bleach.
No, just now. I was feeling bleach just now. There you go. Oh. Yeah, boom, yeah. Yeah, boom, yeah. Yeah, boom, yeah. I don't know what you're doing, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sofias, and I'll be sharing. No. Morning, everyone. My name is Muhammad Zofias, and I'll be sharing about my global studies trip to Jakarta. Okay. So my first experience is basically the visit to Grand Indonesia, which is one of the biggest malls in Jakarta, and the mall is actually quite funny itself, as it is split into 2 wings, east and west. And yeah, we visited the mall during our free time to go and do our regular shopping spree, and there were a variety of outlets there in the place. So a major difference that I found in the Grand Indonesia Mall compared to Singapore malls were that the security of the mall was very tight, and that there were security checks at the entry of the mall. For example, there were bag checks, and there were also metal detectors at the entrance of the mall where we have to pass through.
But check.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. So it did make me feel a bit more safe when I visited the mall, and this is in comparison to Singapore, where there are barely any security in the malls, and there is definitely no such need for metal detectors or bag checks at the entrance of these malls. Okay, I will continue shortly after this R6 session where I one-step some peeps. Yeah? Where's them peeps at? Itu macam kau tengah berak, Sul. Have you ever had that fart when you prod like that? Oh, Akil, help! Fuck! Okay, yes. So continuing to where I left off here. Secondly, another major difference was that the cleaners in that mall greeted us when we left the restroom. It actually made me feel welcomed and valued as a visitor to that mall. Comparing this to Singapore, cleaners in Singapore malls aren't that welcoming, and they are more focused on their job while mostly ignoring the visitors there. So let's go on to my second experience, where I went to visit the Museum of Fine Arts and Ceramics. Basically, this museum showcased a lot of dolls and also the history that people have with these kind of dolls. Um, Two major differences that I found in this museum was that the dolls that were showcased each had a story to tell, and they were unique and different from one another based on their design and also the history of these dolls. The history of Jakarta were also told through them. For example, there were dolls that portrayed the life of Indonesians when they were under the Duchess or Dutch, when they're under the Dutch, right? Dutch.
Right.
When they were under the Dutch. Yeah, never mind. When they were under the Dutch. This is in
English or
yeah, exactly. This is in comparison to Singapore culture, where people do not really believe in dolls, and history is often told through books and also shows instead. Secondly, I was very fascinated with the ondel-ondel, which are large puppet costumes controlled by people, and they are mostly used during celebrations or uh, or or people usually wear them when they are basking on the streets to collect change. These bus these basking oh nice these basking sessions do not require permits, and oh fuck, Weda invite me again, but I'm offline. As I was saying, they do not require permits. Singapore, however, permits are required for basking, and person can be fined if found without a permit. Therefore, this concludes my two major differences from two experiences that I have encountered in Jakarta. Thank you very much. Hope you all like my presentation, and you all might suck my dick later after class. Thank you, everybody. See you guys next time. Thank you, thank you. Okay, that's it. Okay, I start again. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Zulfias. I'm going to be talking about my global studies trip to Jakarta and basically my two experiences. So for my first experience, it was the visit to the Grand Indonesia Mall, which, fun fact, is one of the biggest malls in Jakarta. It is split into two wings, east and west. Therefore, it is a very huge mall, and there are a variety of outlets there. We visited this mall during our free time, which was basically after all the activities have been carried out. Okay, so the two major differences that I found while shopping in this mall was that the security of the mall was very tight, and by saying that I mean that there were bag checks and also metal detectors at the entrance of the mall. This actually made me feel quite safe, and also made me feel quite safe. This is in comparison to malls in Singapore. Oh fuck me. This is in comparison to malls in Singapore that aren't really focused on the security, as there are no such thing as mall. Oh shoot, as oh, this TV guy is annoying. As there are no such thing as metal detectors and also back checks. Second difference is that the cleaners actually greeted us when we left the restroom in that mall. By doing so, we actually felt welcomed and valued as a visitor to that mall right there. Comparing this to Singapore, where the cleaners aren't actually that welcoming and are more focused on their jobs while mostly ignoring the visitors. Okay, going on to my second experience is the visit to the National Museum of Fine Arts and Ceramics, where they showcase a bunch of dolls and also the history of dolls along with it. The two differences that I actually found while visiting that museum was that, firstly, the dolls that were showcased each had a story to tell, and they were unique and different from one another based on the design and also the story that they had to tell. Um, the history of Jakarta and Indonesia is also told through the dolls. Such, for example, where, there were a bunch of dolls that actually portrayed the life of Indonesians when they were under the Dutch, and how miserable their life was. This is actually an interesting concept of storytelling, of sharing their history through dolls and puppets, compared to Singapore, which do not believe in
That
dolls.
was you.
And what?
You do how many slides, yeah?
5.
Damn. That's
Why? That's very little, bro.
Really?
It's just a
But
2-minute presentation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you memorizing?
No, I'm not memorizing. I'm just saying off the slide and then just expanding. Tak nak memorize memorize key, bro. Okay, as I was saying before Akil interrupted me, sorry everyone. This is in comparison to Singapore culture, where people do not actually believe in dolls, and history is often told more through books and shows instead of dolls. Secondly, I found a major difference through seeing large puppet costumes controlled by people. They are called ondel. As you can see on the right hand side of my slides here. And these large puppet costumes are used during celebrations, or are used by the people when they are busking in the middle of streets to collect change. These kind of busking activities do not actually require permit in Jakarta, compared to Singapore, where permits are strictly fuck lah. Akil, tolong aku Akil. I want to one tap, but I cannot.
Mungkin direction bagi.
There is. Hey, bro. There you go.
Nice.
There's still one more. Ooh, there you go. Okay, never mind. I died. Yeah, I got another one.